Hey YouTube, starting a new project. This one's going to take a little while, but that's okay. I got plenty of time. We're coming up on winter time, so we're going to get this thing going. So anyways, you remember last year, I'll just switch the camera here. All right, so remember last year I did a video installing this 1 horsepower dust collector. It did okay for our needs, but it was not nearly what we was needing, to be honest with you. This thing just does not have a lot of power. If you just want to run just one tool off of it, like maybe a table saw or a sander or something of that nature, it'd probably be great. But trying to run stuff like a planer and a joiner, and it definitely can't keep up with that planer. So I found on Facebook a guy was selling this, which is a 2 horsepower. It is the Harbor Freight version, but I've done a lot of research and reading on different forums and whatnot. The old green ones, which is what this is, because the new 2 horsepower from Harbor Freight are gray. These are supposedly better. And Matthew and I have tested it, messed around with it. Thing's got a lot more power than the old 1 horsepower. So what I'm going to do is show it to you right now in its original state, because I'm getting ready to tear this whole thing apart. And we're going to make it a 2-stage. We're going to put a better filter on it. And just overall, it's going to be way better. And we're going to get everything plumbed in. So the miter saw over there will be plumbed in. We'll have fittings to hook up to the joiner and planer when we need to. And I'm hoping this will really help with dust control in the garage. So just want to share this with y'all real quick. And I will keep y'all updated as I do tear down parts or upgrade parts to this thing. And see y'all later. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm trying to finish up our dust collection system. Kind of the last 2 pieces of it right here. So we have this filter that I bought from a company called Filter Junkies, I think's the name of it. Yeah, Filter Junkie. Now this filter is the P7402, and it's a well, I can't remember. It's like a 1 or 2 micron, I think. I don't remember exactly what it is, but we got to modify it a little bit. So this top part is open on it, and this is where our outlet from the dust collector is going to come down and right into this. But I need a way to catch some dust down at the bottom, and it does have these nice handles on it, but we're going to take those off because I got this is just a gamut lid for a 5-gallon bucket, so it snaps onto this end and then it'll screw together. So we're going to take the handles off, cut the bottom of this filter out so we can attach this to it, and we should be good to go. So let me get started on this. So now we just got to get this thing centered where we want it. And I'm honestly thinking, I don't know for sure, I might just cut this whole center out right here, because we're really close to that size anyways. I mean, I think that would be the easiest. It'd give me a nice circle to follow, and we can get this attached on there. So let me get the saw or the jigsaw and everything I need, and we'll be back. There we go. Wow. Lucky for you guys, I fast forwarded all that part because that was extremely loud. So now what I'm thinking, we're just going to put a few self-tappers down through these areas around it. Self-tap it right to this thing. And then we'll obviously do a bead of silicone around this on the inside of it once we get it where we want it. So I guess that's the next step, is let's get the let's get some self-tappers and screw this thing together. There we go. See, so now when this is hanging, we can take our bucket and it'll screw onto this. Now all the bucket's going to do is catch all of your real fine dust that the separator itself doesn't catch. So it's not like it's doing, you're not going to dump that bucket very often, to be honest with you. Now this caulking I'm using is just some, it's silicone, 100% silicone, waterproof, kitchen and bath. Thought it said it was indoor, outdoor. I think that's the other one I had, but it'll be fine. This garage stays fairly warm, believe it or not. If I keep the garage door shut, it'll stay anywhere from 60 and up. So I'm not really worried about it getting too cold and messing up. So let me get this caulked and then we'll be back to the next step. All right, that part is done. Now the next part, we have to do a little bit of measuring and figuring out exactly how far away from the wall our top piece is going to go. So what I'm thinking about doing is wherever this filter is going to sit away from my wall is the distance I need to add. So it looks like we're going to go 13 wide on this piece. So something about like that. But first thing I got to do is I got to hold this up where I want it. And I got to get some measurements. So give me just a minute. All right, guys. So I think 20 inches long on this piece will do us just fine. So I'm going to make a couple marks here. I think that'll do. Let me get these cut out with the jigsaw and I'll be back. All right, we got one more step to do to this thing. I kind of figured since we got a lot of tear out on it, let's put a little round over on this thing, make it look a little bit better at least. There we go. At least make it look a little bit pretty, but it don't matter. So, damn it, that's good enough. Now, you might be wondering, because I was kind of wondering this myself, how am I going to get the hose or pipe, the piping to go into this from the dust collector? This right here is what the dust collector has. It goes off the motor, and this would originally dump to the bag of the top part of it. So I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and he's the same guy. If you watch my videos, he made the 3D printed, goodness, I can't get that piece off. He made the 3D printed pieces for my boat a while back, and he's a very talented worker. He makes all kinds of stuff, but he does CNC, laser engraving, and 3D printing. So I was going to see if he could make me something that went from 5 to 6, but we went out in the shop and was looking around, and he said, well, actually, I've got this whole piece right here off of one same dust collector when I was doing the modification on mine. And he said, you can just have it if you want it, because I don't need it. Because he's upgraded to one of those big, I don't even know what the heck it is, a cabinet dust collector type, big 220. So, boy, that thing is not coming off. But anyhow, I'm going to mount this right up top here. And then this hose will obviously cut it to size. And it's going to bend around to a 90 like that. And I think that's going to be perfect. I do not see that causing any issues. So to do that, we just got to get it lined up. I think right there looks really good. So I'm going to first mark where my holes go, because I'm going to have to bolt this on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the outside of it, and then I'm just going to have to measure and see what the difference is, because I don't want to cut this whole size, or it's not going to bolt on no more. But this will give me an idea where I need to be at. There we go. Get that out of the way for a minute. So I think, where's my tape measure? I want to come in. I'm going to come in 7/8 of an inch off of this outside lip. There we go. Now I need to cut this inside square out, but before I do that, I got to drill a hole through it so I can get my Sawzall blade in there. Or I don't know why I keep saying Sawzall, isn't it? A jigsaw blade. All right, let me go look real quick. I gotta find what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta find 6 bolts to bolt this down. So we'll be back. All right, we are back. I got 6 1/4 20 bolts that we're going to use for this. I like to put some scrap wood on my table because I don't want to drill through into this table. I've had quite a few work tables in my time, and it seems like I'm always pretty rough with them. So I'm trying to be trying to be better with them. But let's get this going now. That should fit, I think. And grab a hammer, kind of. All right. If you're still here after all of this so far, oh, thank you. Because a lot of times people stop watching our videos. I understand it might be boring to you or whatever, but we appreciate it when you stay around and you actually watch. So now we should be able to get these in. All right. Now hopefully I can remember. See, look, that'll be perfect right there. That's nice. All right. Next step. Let's figure out how we're going to mount this to our canister. Kind of getting the camera where y'all can't even see me. But now we got to mount this down like that. Now I do have some self-tapping screws. I'm going to grab the handful of them real quick. But I'm kind of hoping these are long enough. They can just go right through this and into that filter top. Damn batteries, man. Everything I'm doing tonight, my batteries keep dying. Guess I need to start charging them more often. Let's see where was that. That'll do, but now I'm gonna have to get, ooh, that bitch is hot. All right, just to make life a little easier, I am going to pre-drill through my plywood for the screw. That way I'm not wasting so much effort of it going through the plywood itself. So, all right. I think that'll do. So now we're ready to seal up around this. Remember, we got to do our caulking around it. All right, let me get that tube of black caulking out. There we go. Now we got that sealed up, and this is perfect timing because I need somebody to help me hold it up, and Isabella's out here with me. So let me grab some screws so we can get it mounted, and Bella's going to help me hold this up so we can get it up there. All right, folks, we're going to try to do this the best we can so you can see, but see if you can hold the bottom of the filter. You got it? We're going to screw it in right here, see what we can do with it. And I might even need more screws, I don't know. Right there's what we was wanting. So now, I do got to trim this hose down. And I don't even know if you guys can see or if I'm blocking everything. I'm probably blocking it, ain't I? Let me move you over here. There we go. All right. So now I got to trim this hose down because it's got to go to there. And it will be tight, but that's fine. It'll be fine, I promise. There we go. Let me grab the bucket and give it a shot. Oh man, I'm getting old. Too old to be doing this kind of bending down work, but I got no choice. there we go. That is it. So let me get the camera off tripod. I'm gonna give y'all a quick walk around of this whole system we set up. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown of this whole dust collection system. There's not a lot to it, but there's a lot of pipe work to it. We used all 4-inch drain pipe, PVC drain pipe. Now this is your, well, it's PVC sewer pipe. So this is the real thin wall stuff. This is a scrap piece of the 4-inch that I use, all right? Don't get the real thick, heavy, I think it was a Schedule 40 or whatever. Don't get that because you don't need that for this and it won't fit any of your stuff. So anyways, here it is. So the miter saw, I don't think y'all can see down in there very well. See if I can get you in there maybe. So we have, yeah, you can kind of see it. That's called a big gulp. That comes down to a 4-inch, which let me pull these trash cans out. That comes down right here to a 4-inch outlet. So I did put a 90 on it, but that's a sweeping 90, and it goes to a 45. Now from there, it goes up to a blast gate, and this blast gate has a rod on it because I don't want to reach back here every time to open and close. So that's going to be the blast gate to the miter saw. So we just have a handle out here. We can open and close this blast gate when we need to. And then we also have a blast gate right here. This blast gate's going to be so I can hook my 4-inch hose up, and then I can hook up to my planer and joiner over there. Or I'm also going to have a 2-inch hose that I can run over to the table for when I'm sanding stuff and whatnot, or just basic cleanup. All right, so that's what this was for. Now this, I know this looks like a weird fitting. These are these magnet fittings right here. So this end goes on the hose, and then you just put it in place. So I'm hoping that'll make me want to use a dust collector more. Anyhow, we come down and around. You can't really see up there a whole lot. You can see where the 45 is back up because I had to make room for my table saw. And we have a pipe that comes over here, and this is our floor sweep. Now this blast gate was an old one. I just made a new chute for it. That's nothing special. Now over here it gets a little bit ugly, but don't hate on me. So it runs under the stairs, behind my air compressor. I got a 45 there, and it dumps right over into our 30-gallon separation barrel. And then obviously what you just saw us make, everything will drop into the bucket, whatever's left over. So I like it. I think it's going to do great for us. I guess what I'm going to do is get all this dust from this mess we just made. We'll get it over here and I'll turn it on, show you all the floor sweep and everything else with it. So stand by. All right, guys, I got Matthew out here with me now. We got us a pile of dust right here. First thing he wants to do is the floor sweep. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn dust collector on, and he's gonna sweep that dust up. So I didn't tell you this, I do have the Grizzly remote control system for the dust collector. So that makes it a lot easier, but here we go. Let me help you. Watch out behind you. There you go. All right, so as you can see, that worked really well. Now what we're going to do is all this PVC dust over here where I cut this piece of pipe tonight, we're going to go ahead and suck that up. So what my Matthew do, he's going to close his blast gate. I opened this one. Put it in there, buddy. Okay, he's struggling. There he goes. All right, now he's got his closed. We got great suction right here. Put it on there. All right, grab your hose. See what it'll do. Not straight on it, bud. All right. Goodness, it's hard not to do it straight down. We got some serious suction on this thing, guys.
Can I do it?
Hold on. All right, now the one thing, I hope you guys can hear me. I'm holding my microphone because I know that dust collector is loud. But the one thing I want to do, and I'm going to try my best to show you guys this, is I'm going to take these covers off from my miter saw. That way you can see down in here better, because we have a lot of dust in this thing. And I want to get it all cleaned out now that we have the dust collector hooked up. All right, guys, we're back to the miter saw now. You see how much dust buildup I have back in here? I mean, there's a lot of dust everywhere right now because I just didn't have a good dust collector to get all this. So what I'm gonna do, no, not yet, hold on. I'll open this one, close that one. So we got good suction going now. Let's see if we can get a bunch of this dust out of here. I know this is crappy camera work on this part, but it's the best I can do at the moment.
All this dust.
And it's all going down in there. I mean, you can see the opening right there. It's getting it all. Okay. Look at that man there. I would say this is a success, guys. While Matthew's finishing that up, get this light off. All right. Let's come over here and see what we got going on. I don't see any leaks, so that's good. I don't feel any leaks around any of that, so I think we're going to be good, guys. You good, buddy? Be careful up there. Matthew's finishing cleaning it up, so let me get this all done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, this is the last part of the video, I promise. So I just wanted real quick, let's take this bucket off and see how much dust we actually got in here.
All the big chunks are in the blue part.
Yeah, they do. So look at that. We got, I don't know if you can see in there, there's a little bit of dust in it, but that's pretty awesome for the amount of dust we sucked up. That's all that came all the way through here. So I'm happy with that. Now, no, we're not taking that one apart, but the next step we have to do still, and I'm not, no, leave that alone. Oh man, my knees are cracking. The only other thing I really want to do is next time we empty this, our blue 30-gallon drum, I don't know if it's overkill or not. It probably is. I'm going to cut a window in it, like right here, something like this. And we're going to epoxy a piece of plexiglass in there. And it's just going to be a window so I can see, because I really wanted one of those, I don't even know what they're called, but it's got a sensor that goes in it and the red light lights up when your drum's full. I'm not spending $200 on a stupid light, to be honest with you. So we are going to do something like that, put a window in that tub so we can see. But yeah, that's about it. So one thing I do want to tell you real quick. All right, so real quick, one thing I wanted to tell you was on my drum, I know there's tons of YouTube videos of people building these Stein baffles and everything that go down inside them. I don't see how you could get any better than what I have right here. These are just, I can post it right here for you. I'll have to find it on Amazon, but right here it is. This is just some fittings, like 90s, right? So you got one 90 that goes this way, and the other 90 goes the other way. And they do have a correct direction they need to go, or you're going to lose a lot of suction. But I've never had trouble with this. I had the same setup on my last dust collector, and it worked great. This is actually a way nicer setup than I had the last time. Right here, that's a picture of my old dust collector in Louisiana. It was still a 2-stage Harbor Freight dust collector, but I didn't go as far as putting the filter on it and whatnot. So it just had the bag filter, and I still had a lot of messes from it. So I'm hoping this filter here will help with all the fine dust that I have throughout the garage, which let me show you all. So like even right here, I mean, you can see it, everything's dusty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to deep clean this garage. I mean, deep clean it. The air compressor, the hot water heater, everything's going to get cleaned and wiped down. All these dirty, dusty cabinets, the bottom of my table down here, like everything's going to get dusted. I'm going to go like spring cleaning in December. And I'm going to do that for one, because it needs it. But second, I want to make sure we're catching all the fine particles between this filter that I have right here, and then, well, you can see it right there, our air purifier filter up top here. I don't want me or Matthew, because Matthew here, my little buddy, say hi to Matthew, everybody. He comes out in the garage with me a lot. I don't want this little dude to get sick or a lung disease develop or something like that. Because for me, I bought this dust collector, like I said, off an older guy for $100, but he got out of woodworking. He's selling everything because he has got COPD and he can't hardly breathe. And it was from years of doing woodworking and just not having a good filtration system. So hopefully this will help us out. And I know there's thousands of videos on YouTube about doing these dust collectors, but I think mine's probably one of the simplest ones there is. But if you're into woodworking or getting started into woodworking, invest in one of these filters. Just go ahead and do it now and get it done with, because them bag filters that come on these dust collectors they're not any good. They're not going to protect your lungs. You're going to have to wear a respirator or something. But that's all I got to say. So Matthew, you want to end the video for us? What you got to tell them, bud?
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and share.
There you go, guys. You heard it from Matthew. We'll see y'all later.